Grayson. This is my other cat. He's much bigger. He came to me in August of 2008, in April of 2008. I'm sorry. Friendly came to me in August of 2008, but Grayson came to me in April of 2008. Say hi. Tiger Raisin. Tiger Raisin, say hi. Say hi. Tiger Raisin, why are you looking all around like I'm not talking to you? Say hi. Hi, baby cat. Tiger Raisin. Oh, thank you. This is video number 2 of the B Word Poets literary video blog. You can follow me on Facebook at Kim B Word Poet, on Twitter at B Word Poet, and you can go to my main website where you'll find samples of my poetry, short stories, book reviews, and a blog at bwordpoet.wordpress.com. For my second video, I wanted to talk about my very first poetry book, which is entitled Love is an Invitation for More Pain. The title came from, it was actually a quote from a TV show that I was crazy about for a long time. You may have heard of it. It's called Charmed. I was a very huge fan of Charmed, and season 4 episode, yes, I actually know this. Season 4 episode 2, I believe, right after they discovered their new sister Paige, who was played by Rose McGowan, Piper, who was played by Holly Marie Combs, she said this great line to her sister on the show, played by Alyssa Milano, Phoebe. Piper said to Phoebe, she was talking about, because they lost their sister Prue, Shannon Doherty, who had left the show the year before, and that's why they brought in Rose McGowan. And she was talking about, everything that was going on, because the show was, them having Prue's funeral, and, then they discovered this secret sister, and, all these emotions are going on, and she's just like, I don't know if I can let anybody else in. I don't know if I can let in another sister. Love just feels like an invitation for more pain. And it was just such a striking line to me. That really resonated with me, because I've always felt that way. It just feels like you want to love and you want to give your heart to somebody, but it just feels like it's just inviting more pain in if you do it. So that's why I named my first poetry book Love is an Invitation for More Pain, the beginning poems of Kim the B Word Poet, because most of the beginning poems I had from high school up until a few years after high school was just all about love, and all about the pain that love brought, and all about other feelings that I had due to not being able to love. So it just seemed like such a fitting title, and such a powerful title, and it meant so much to me. So that's why that is the name of my very first anthology. It is about 50 pages. And of course, I'm not going to read you 50 poems, but I would like to read you some poems from my first anthology. It's separated into 4 sections, which would be love, anger, depression, and religion. And like I said, those are definitely the big feelings that I've had dealing with love and dealing with not having love. Actually feeling that love then being depressed over that love, and then being angry about being depressed about that love, and being angry that that love is not returned to me, and then finally putting a spiritual element on the feelings of love that I have, or just, love for God in general. So this first poem I'm going to read is from the first section of Love, and it is called Longing. I had a dream of being whole, where all my fantasies and desires had a way of coming true. He and I created a fictional world for ourselves, built under the halo of my mind. I just want him to love me. I want to be seen. There's too many false promises people give to know I want much more than this. If I could cut him out in little stars and hang him in the heavens, everyone would worship the simple magnificence and pay no more attention to their insignificant plights. Within his being there is male beauty beyond any words can define. His whole essence, covering and smothering, surrounding and devouring each room he enters, which keeps my heart from committing suicide. I sit night after night and day after day, waiting and passing other opportunities, hoping that I stopped this someone in his tracks and made him wish for the simplicity I offer. Maybe I read too much into his glares. I actually believed that somehow I was worth his attention, and foolishly thought perhaps he believed the same in return, for now I am left forever empty and longing for his love. This second poem is from this is also from my love section. And this poem was actually published in Cleveland State's literary magazine called The Vindicator. It was published back in 2003. It's called A Meaningful Gaze. Acid rain falls on the ground as my gaze focuses on you, your hair resting on your shoulders and aimlessly scattered on the bed, your flesh warm and moist while your mouth is partially open. Your body is turned towards me, but your arms are limp by your sides. Your stomach flutters as I place my hand upon it. Your thighs tighten as my fingers run across. I have never seen such magnificent legs as they lay on top of one another. When I kiss your lips, your toes curl and hide back under the covers. This next poem is from my depression section. This one's called My Life is Like a Death Trap. My life is like a death trap. Everyone I talk to, everywhere I go, everything I do, everything I like is backfiring and planning to seal my doom. My life is like a death trap. No place to go, no friend to turn to. I am closed in an open door from which I can't escape. My life is like a death trap. From Monday to Friday, I'm a walking punching bag, a skeleton. No feelings, no desires, no laughter, no flesh, no happiness. My life is not like a death trap. It is. This next poem is also from my depression section called Incompetence. This poem was actually inspired by another show that I was crazy about called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You may have heard of it. There was a speech that Xander made to Willow that, was it to Willow? No, it wasn't to Willow. It was to Buffy's sister Dawn. And I forget what season he said it, but it was a speech that I was really going through it at the time. And his speech was just kind of saying everything that I was going through. It was like the writer of that episode was articulating a moment in my life and had put it on TV for everyone, because Xander was saying everything that I was feeling at that moment. But that's where this poem came from. Incompetence. They'll never know how tough it is to never be anything. to be so close to the spotlight but never step in it, and to see more than anybody because nobody's watching. The crown is too tough to bear and too hard to watch, to know that those problems will never be yours, spending all your life just waiting for a piece of their salvation as you watch them wasted in hypocrisy. The labors of the righteous will always flourish, while you spend eternity as their best friend. A lot of people will never know what their purpose is, and though you don't either, you're a lot closer than they'll ever know. Thank you, Xander. The very last poem I'm going to read to you is called, well, actually it's an untitled poem, but it's from my last section of my debut poetry anthology, the religion section. If I write about God, do I feel forgiven, or do I want to be because I'm writing to him? Is forgiveness something you receive, or something you know that you have? Is forgiveness important for my well-being, or just important when it's convenient for me? Is forgiveness a personal destiny or a personal victory? Is forgiveness given without prejudice, or does hidden rules apply? Can it be given more than once? How can someone be forgiven unconditionally and stop the devil from knocking at their door? I thank you very much for listening to the creation of my first poetry anthology and poems from within the anthology. And I will be back soon with my third video, which the subject is not entirely clear to me at this moment, but I will definitely be back with something soon.